Did WOOSKI kill ODEE Perry? Hmm. Now I thought they said that's why they got rid of the Dyke. I forgot the Dyke name though. Chaos. There we go. Nah, okay. So it was WOOSKI. Okay.
One of the biggest mysteries in Chicago drill history has been who created O Block, who created the O, and obviously if you didn't know, O Block is the Parkway Gardens housing complex. It's where the likes of Chief Keef, King Von, some of the most famous and feared rappers in Chicago drill hail from O Block. But the reason it's called O Block is because it is home to a young man called ODEE Perry, who was killed many years ago, over 10 years ago. I think it was around 2011. And basically, people have been desperately trying to get to the bottom of who created the O, who's the founder of O Block, who did it. And now we're hearing one of the theories that's been floating around for years is getting a little bit more steam, because some people are saying that Big Mike
dry snitching on his little brother WOOSKI.
Right, Big Mike famously went on a hit with King Von, ended up going down for the murder and doing 18 years while Von got off scot-free. Some people are saying Big Mike is actually dry snitching on his own brother WOOSKI regarding the night that ODEE Perry was killed, and people basically saying that he talking a little too much.
Already, it's just when he started hanging down on 71st.
He talking a little too much, and it's crazy that somebody will say, "I'm the feds." I'm the feds for watching him talk a little too much. Oh my gosh. No, y'all are comedy. Now this is sick. This nigga is dry snitching. I hope he's the feds too. I hope y'all ain't calling this guy real nigga or anything. Y'all calling him a fed just like y'all calling me. I'm just making sure that everything is being transparent here, because I know y'all like to do the selective. But let me listen to Big Mike snitch on WOOSKI, his little brother. Man, I must got a cap on me the whole time. Wire under this bitch. Hey, FBI open up, you know. Shit, they need to give me some money or something. What's going on around here? Can I at least get some money? Like, what's going on? I thought feds get, like, paid for shit. I ain't getting paid. What's going on? Alright.
He met Tula down there. And that's when they started hanging out or whatnot. And I here got locked up in 2009. And I want to say,
close that back door.
Right after O got killed, that's when I found out that my little brother was really in the field. Like, I wasn't hearing nothing until
close that back door.
Everybody like, man, what's up with your brother? I said, what about my brother? They like, man, he been out here a while. What? Y'all talking about a little boy? That's who y'all talking about? Because at that time, he was...
You sound like Big Mike is implying.
He's old or something, man.
So basically,
you sound like Big Mike was implying that a 12-year-old out there going crazy, popping niggas. Now, I'm no fed or anything. I'm just going ahead telling y'all the news that's coming out of what I'm hearing. You know?
All right, it sounds like he's keeping it real, and he's saying people was only hearing about his name in the streets after ODEE got killed. Well, why would he be hearing about his name in the streets after ODEE got killed unless he had something to do with it? People saying, I'm not going to lie, this is the first time I heard this, but it makes sense low-key. It would make the whole Von constantly dissing WOOSKI thing make perfect sense. People saying WOOSKI probably did shoot at White with 50 shots. That's why Von hated him so much. He was there, so he know WOOSKI was on that hit. They're saying this might be the reason O Block hates him so much and can't stop saying his name. They're saying, bro, y'all dumb. Big Mike already spoke on ODEE Killer. He said, dude somewhere doing time out of state. That ain't WOOSKI, but that would be a good way to throw people off. He definitely isn't saying that, because Big Mike himself said he was after anybody who had something to do with O. People saying the worst thing you can do is these Chirac interviews. You're going to slip up and say something incriminating. I don't care if it's Vlad or whoever. All right? And basically, yeah, it's pretty spicy, right? WOOSKI saying, hell yeah, ask that dude ODEE. This is a back and forth with King Von, all right?
Damn.
Saying we going out here going wild, insane, crazy. WOOSKI hit back. He said, yeah, ask ODEE. Now, okay, this would basically mean that one of the people responsible for giving O Block its name was originally actually from there, because apparently, all right, a lot of people been saying that, you might be surprised at who actually hails from O Block.
Why was WOOSKI so hated in O Block? Was it because he was from there and then he went to the other side and then started beefing with O Block? Was that the main reason why?
He ain't picking up his title, he ain't got to claim it, but that's where he is from. When I was 8, 9 years old, his brothers, WOOSKI, the other brother, Big Mike, he got some more brothers as well. He from a block, and WOOSKI is literally like, I guess a lot of kids was like weirded out, like, we Wick City before O Block, like, we Wick City, like, what the fuck? Why you wanna claim them and don't claim where you really from? Yeah, a lot of don't like WOOSKI, man, but WOOSKI was around before a lot of that child. With, like, he was around before Vaughn. Just a lot of that know.
Why was WOOSKI so?
So, to understand the hit that ended up taking ODEE Perry's life and creating O Block, we got to take a look back at the events that actually led up to the murder, which actually started with the killing of another infamous figure in the Chicago streets. That's, of course, Tooka.
2011. I experienced like my first.
I remember us watching this.
My best friend OD, he in 2011.
Then my heart dropped. I ain't even asked about my other little cousin BJ. I ain't even asked about him. I'm like, man, oh, and she got pausing. Like every time I say, oh, her cries are pause. Like she took a deep breath, and her cries get worse. I mean, something need to happen for us. Then she tell me like, oh.
Then thinking about like, damn, O wasn't even closest to the shooter. BJ was fat, and O got hit with all the shots, and it was just like, damn, bro, it was sad, man. And then T Roy was like that.
They saying all this.
And then T Roy said that O was like, damn, they got me, bro. Like that was his last words.
Folks was a gangster. He was real savage. He was real solid.
OD was one of the first ones that was really out there with the guns. He was really shooting, really blowing.
OD was really shooting and blowing niggas? Goddamn, OD?
January 12, 2011. A gang feud was building up to the point of no return. On that tragic day, a young man by the name of Shondell Gregory, known by his peers as Tooka, was shot and lost his life.
15-year-old Chanel Gregory was shot in the 500 block of East 63rd Street. The boy was on the street when a suspect got out of a vehicle and shot him multiple times. That gunman got back into the car and fled west on 63rd. Police say Gregory was on the scene. The incident is possibly gang-related. No one is in custody.
Tooka was at a bus stop on 63rd in St. Lawrence, in the Woodlawn neighborhood in Southside Chicago, with two other witnesses awaiting a bus. A dark-colored vehicle pulled up. A passenger who was wearing a half mask jumped out and shot Shondell Gregory, aka Tooka, several times about the body. According to law enforcement, Tooka was a known member of the Gangster Disciples, and his assassination was retaliation for the hit of a Black Disciple affiliate. That particular incident will become infamous as a pivotal moment in the gang feud in Chicago, and even more for the life of a Chicago native by the name of ODEE Perry.
So all of that led up to what happened to OD, right? The murder of Tooka happened not too long before. Okay, basically that was at the start of 2011, all right, and then as the year went on, the ops was really looking to get back for what happened to Tooka, and unfortunately they would eventually find ODEE Perry, and that would also be covered in detail in this video from Dose of Mystery, so shout out to them. And let's look at basically how the series of events played out as far as OD then losing his life after Tooka.
ODEE Perry decided to go to the store and got on his bike and did just that. Him, along with his friend, entered the Swisher Sweet store, 11:34 p.m.
11:34.
Gets on his bicycle and begins riding northbound on MLK Drive. Moments later, at 11:35 p.m., shots were heard ringing out throughout the area. His friend would look out of the store in the northbound direction which ODEE Perry rode off towards. That's when he saw OD fall from his bike onto the ground before getting up and attempting to escape.
11:34, you really shouldn't be going to the store, especially on no bike. You really should be at home.
Fall back down after around 10 more shots were let off. A key witness at the scene further described what happened thereafter. According to his account, he saw ODEE Perry riding northbound as well on MLK Drive on his bicycle, but also noticed an African-American male standing near the bus stop along with an equally colored female and her child. As ODEE Perry approached, the black male stepped out and shot him, causing OD to fall back from his bicycle.
What
At
the
this point
fuck?
must be where ODEE Perry would have tried to recollect himself and flee, but as stated by the eyewitness, the offender continued his pursuit by approaching OD, shooting him again before fleeing eastbound on 64th Street.
No, they was wild.
Members at the time, Black Reformed gangster Jay Hood, one of ODEE Perry's friends named T. Roy, was present at the time, trying to keep him awake and alive after being shot.
So obviously, this was a tragic loss for everybody that's from Parkway Gardens, aka O Block, as it would be known in the aftermath. Now, there would actually be footage from the aftermath of the shooting that circulated, and it did show police swarming the scene immediately following the reports of shots fired. So this is basically footage from the scene, police pulling up as soon as it happened, and obviously, you know, thankfully they've blurred the body out there, but you know, they can basically see that, you know, this is what went down. The police were straight on the scene. People were very distraught at the scene, and it's just really sad that, you know, to know that this is how it all went down. And this has been well documented. You know, the ambulance turning up, unfortunately, lost his life. But crucially, OD was actually killed on what's known as Tuka Day, and this is around the same time of the shooting that O Block's rivals basically, like,
They
around the
said
same time
this
of the
shit is
shooting.
called Tuka Day? What the fuck?
Okay,
Oh,
O'Block's
that's
biggest
freaky.
ops, all right, FBG Duck and them, all the Flyboy gang, everyone from 63rd, they all were filming a music video, and this actually becomes a key piece of evidence in the murder. So basically, okay, time goes on, and we end up seeing this FBG Duck freestyle, and they're basically saying that this was filmed right before the murder of ODEE Perry. This becomes basically a critical piece of evidence. It's even kind of this is, you know, it's basically, this is a big part of the story, right? People saying on this day OD got killed.
What?
Right?
How do they know this? We got to look at the Deadpool trailer back.
That's basically understanding.
I ain't see it yet either.
Somewhere in the video, the guy with the white socks hat was listed in the description. You'll see him at the beginning of the video. People saying that's not him. Some people saying it is him. People don't know. Right? Witnesses described it as being Boss Trell. They're saying FBG Duck was the driver. There's a lot of speculation. Okay.
How do they know this? This is crazy.
They sent August the 11th, 2011. That was the day that O Block was created. Right? And this is a re-upload. But basically, that was on Tuka Day. That was a day of respect and memorial for Tuka. And basically, okay, like real talk, they actually killed OD on Tuka's birthday. That was Tuka Day, all right? So they basically was out looking for revenge. They filmed a music video, and they went and they got up with him, all right? So it is very sad. Now, for years, the primary theory about
I ain't know that.
the shooting was obviously the female teenage hitter, K.I., a.k.a. Jakira Barnes. A lot of people believed for a long time that she actually might have been the one to pull the trigger.
OD, right?
Yeah.
And Tuka was killed before OD, right?
Yeah.
Because they said that OD was a revenge killing for Tuka. FBG Butterman going around saying that KI killed OD because some killed Tuka.
Butter stayed talking.
She killed someone at 14 as revenge over Tuka. That's what they say.
Man, OD got this black.
Like, why would you say that?
About that? I don't even know if it's true that KI even killed OD. I don't even know if it's true if OD killed Tuka. Some people just make up stories for content. It could have been somebody else. The streets been talking about who could have possibly did it. Everybody just ran with it because she the one started jumping on the internet about this. The whole time, the block knew that little girl ain't had nothing to do with him getting killed. She probably was there. But she ain't the one that pulled that trigger, bro.
So clearly he knows who did it, right? Because he's basically saying who did it.
KI ain't pulled the trigger.
FBG Butter would later admit that he intentionally put bodies on KI after her death to try and avoid a sentence for himself, right?
What the fuck?
Let me careful.
Why would he tell anybody that?
So this is
know why we able to
people
see
are basically
it.
saying FBG Butter is blaming the murder of OD Perry on other people, and then in the comments it says, "Did this dude just confirm that he killed OD?" Now I'm not sure if I believe Butter killed OD. Let's hear what he said.
Look it up. Him and his brother told on me for slacking they homie. Oh, look where I just gave back 192 years to them niggas. I don't speak on that shit. Them niggas told on me, gang. I'm home right now because I blamed on my sister Kyrie. Them niggas told on. Them niggas told. On Lil Brian, Lil Durk, them told. Lil Durk home right now because them niggas told. On Duck. I'm free right now. I just got back 192 years, gang. On Lil Brian, 192.
Why did they post you on all the social media pages that was
Because on Tuka,
Hold on.
Look, my sister Jakira Barnes did. They gave me 192 years for killing the motherfucker, and I blamed it on my dead sister.
He did just say that.
I blamed it on my dead sister. They gave me 192 years. You hear me? and I blame it on my dead sister. They can't
Oh,
dig
my
her.
dead
They can't
sister.
charge us. They can't do nothing. I'm home. And your home, and they homies dead. They homies.
So he's saying that other people snitching, alright, it's in
192
years.
years.
Okay, but look,
That is
there's another
crazy.
suspect that was apparently identified as being at the scene.
190
by the name of FYB DJ, who was reportedly the man seen
don't know who
standing
that
next to
is.
a stroller during this encounter.
Evidence is emerging a decade after the death of ODEE Perry. Now, what I found interesting in this time-lapse video is you can see all eyes was on O when he was riding past on a bike. Now, over here at Dub Media, in no way, shape, form, or fashion that we doing detective work. Now, I ain't no internet sleuth, so I'm gonna give credit where credit due. There's some people out here so invested in the culture
What
that
the
they want to see
hell?
the killer of OD behind bars more than the CPD. Reason being, Ja Rule City, FYB DJ was spotted on these city cameras getting himself out of there. How do we know this FYB DJ? Easy, because he was spotted the next day in the same apparel in the FBG Duck video. Excellent move on his behalf. No,
Excellent move. Why is FYB DJ wearing the same outfit repeatedly? DJ, you're not supposed to be this obvious, bro. Oh my gosh.
He actually wearing a shirt with his name on it.
With his
FYB
name
DJ.
on
Now,
it.
I'm not trying to help anybody get away with any crimes, but if you're going to do a drill, small bit of advice, definitely don't do it in
With your
a
teeth.
shirt with your name on it.
Or none, but it's possible he could have dropped that location and put that back door in motion. So unfortunate, because now both of these guys are no longer with us. And all
So, rumors have circulated for years. Obviously, we saw this in a comment a minute ago, okay, that FBG Duck might have actually been the person behind the wheel doing the getaway driving during this hit as well.
Look, I ain't gonna hold y'all. They say FBG Duck was possibly the getaway driver. Well, what we know so far from the video circulating the internet, OD was shot on the 10th, but held on like a life jacket until the next day. Next day, they shot the video, or even possibly the B-roll from the beginning of the video that night. How do we know this FYB DJ? Easy, because he was spotted the next day in the same apparel in the FBG Duck video. Excellent move on his behalf. No, man, ain't nobody know if he the shooter or nothing, but it's possible. Yeah, that was the upload from yesterday. If you ain't checked that out, run over there. But yeah, they said that's your boy whipping that thing, though. And the night vision off the camera got that shirt looking kind of orangish, like,
Wow.
Does look a bit like Doc's shirt.
Does look orange.
All-nighter. But again, this is all speculation, merely a theory. All the parties involved are deceased. So please, no comments like I'm sending someone to jail. Although it is said to be a hidden message in the beginning of the video, rumor has it, if deciphered, you will find out the killer behind the murder of ODEE Perry.
So they're saying the outfits, you know, the cars, the little clips in the video, it all kind of leads towards certain possibilities. People saying, did I miss out on something? Why am I seeing people saying FBG Duck was the driver on the OD hit? People saying they put that together years ago. It was because he had on the orange shirt.
It really be internet detectives on here. Really be internet detectives. And all I do is react to it.
The night of the shooting and the footage, it looks like that's who the driver was.
Let me do all this.
It's been a rumor forever, right? But interestingly, WOOSKI himself has seemingly hinted on multiple occasions that he might have been involved in the shooting too, right? This is basically WOOSKI on Facebook, I believe, hinting to T-Roy that he killed OD, right? Said you be talking faux shit. Little dude on BD, little boy saw your little ass on 63rd, was about to shit on yourself. Then WOOSKI hit back. He said, on Tuka, you lie, you a bitch. How you let your mans get popped in the face? Haha, that's a long laugh. E-Block, EBT, BDK. And hey, said I ran up on OD, made him shit himself. Alright. So Marvell Williams, alright. Apparently that is actually WOOSKI's name. But anyway, he would also go into a very direct and public back and forth with King Von on Twitter about the murder too. And these guys were wiling out on Twitter back in the day.
2012.
Right? And I think we did look at this earlier. It says, smack a stupid bitch like T-Roy cousin. MFs ain't that slow. BD not slow. King Von says to WOOSKI, doesn't ring a bell, but keep your head up, boy, because dudes be out here going wild, insane, crazy. WOOSKI says, hell yeah, ask that dude OD. And then this is some stuff we didn't see earlier because they went back and forth for a while. King Von said, lol, I ain't even going to disrespect your dead man's cuz because I know my rod looking and she real. I don't want her to spaz out on me. He says, alright, Queen Dave, not King David, Queen Dave, keep your head up. Von said, make it easier for me and keep your head down. WOOSKI said, I'm not BD, so I ain't heads down. But y'all on that side, dead ass, y'all queen. Von said, nah, I quit though for real, Wooski. Just be smart out there. You should take this advice coming from a real young N-word, O-Block. Wooski said, we made O-Block. You forgot. Von said, do we gotta go there, little boy? And Wooski said, you a bitch. Everybody know that shorty MF's gonna pop your little head off. And at other times, Wooski actually would suggest that the hit might have been a coordinated effort.
And for me to be saying these niggas be on Instagram Live now, these niggas was on Twitter tweeting at each other like the whole world couldn't see it. 2012.
Between multiple different gangs working together. He said, who the F will run from TYMB, STL, EBT will hit him up like we did OD. He's saying we. So he is claiming responsibility for it. And Wooski also once posted a photo showing himself with several members from that FBG Duck music video wearing the exact same clothes that they had on the same day of the shooting. Okay, let me see if I can pull this one up. Where's this one? Is this it? What's going on with that? What's going on with that? Hang on. Alright, I had to pull up the backup of this one, but this is basically a post that Wooski made. It said, on Tuka B Day, we made OD Day. He said, we made OD Day. Right? And he basically showing everybody off that was there with the fits. You know what I mean? It's a little bit crazy that he would even want to post that. Alright, but he did put that post across, and apparently they are wearing the outfits from the OD hit. Now, interestingly, Big Mike would actually suggest that one of the actual participants in the hit is currently locked up in a case that they're not coming back from.
He was talking about that she supposedly killed bro. That's false information. I know it's false information. And who killed bro, to keep it 100, is locked up doing 100 years. He ain't never coming home. He locked up in a whole nother state on a whole nother case that he ain't never coming home from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he trying to say whoever did it, he in another case.
Do we believe that chat?
From it. And now a lot of people believe that Big Mike was actually referring to MOB Beans, who was prominently featured in the music video that day with FBG Duck and is also facing a lot of time in prison. His projected parole date is 2056. All right, he got decades left on him, and he's a GD, as you can see from the pitchforks here. Some people think he might have been responsible. Okay, he in for a random ass of murder, a robbery gone wrong in Cranktown. People saying that they wouldn't put up with that many years, but another notable figure in Wooski's circle at the time was a hitter by the name of Lil B, who allegedly wore disguises when they went on hits. Right? Photo of EBT Lil B dressed like a girl to catch his ops off guard. Now this is crazy. They're saying he was a maniac.
I definitely
gotta be a
hear
fake
about
man.
Lil
Ain't
B.
no way we got Lil B wig pics 10 years after he died. All right? Who's saying he looked fucked up for a female. I'd have been staring like, what the F is that? By the way, the pic on the left is from an FOIA request, so it's actually a real pic. There's levels to this drilling stuff. That is crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
That is sick.
Now, allegedly, he used to use these costumes to carry out drills undetected, and this is how Lil B was moving, all right? Basically, it says, I think this one was called the student get up. They say that boy wore disguises on drills. Side note, everybody treated Young like a goofy, and they're basically saying this is him showing off one of his costumes.
Oh, right here with it, man. Yeah, I know how this shit goes, man. Oh shit, this Lil B. Fuck, he's going from school or something? Where you going, bro?
So they're saying that might have been his little school outfit, all right? You throwing him off the scent. It says he walked past him like that because he popped coal before. That must have happened after this video. Ain't no way a dude who shot me just gonna walk past me like that. This is after he popped him over a girl. Cole was sneak dissing Lil B too, and FBG snitched on his cousin. They were about to start a war with STL. If you know, you know. They're saying he dressed up as a homeless guy to catch a body as well, walking with a limp they always talk about. Basically, some people saying Lil B was a bit slow, but it sounds like he was definitely getting active in those streets. Now, finally, the last suspect in the murder of ODEE Perry is, of course, Boss Trell from St. Louis. St. Louis Street, St. Louis Ave. St. Louis, my bad. St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence Ave. All right, not St. Louis. I was thinking, as I said that, I was like, that doesn't sound right. From St. Lawrence, man, and basically he's long been tied to the ODEE Perry hit by those deep in the Chicago drill scene. This is like a snippet of a police report or a crime scene report, basically saying, so Boss Trell really killed OD? And this is basically the nickname BT, Jakira Barnes. They're saying it was Boss Trell and KI, both dead. They might have been responsible. It says new details and crime scene pics about the OD murder. OD told Boss Trell to blow if you're gonna, and CPD may have believed he was behind the murder of Tuka as well. CPD held a photo array, and Boss Shell was the main one identified by eyewitnesses during the murder, not KI. They're saying that was the image that was identified. People saying, wow, dudes are still going to deny it though and say it was scrap. At this point, everybody killed OD.
Damn.
Right? It makes perfect sense he did. After all, multiple witnesses identified him as the shooter. Shit, this the guy responsible for changing the names of multiple blocks. He started the Name Your Block After Your Dead Homie movement. Call him a Renaissance man. That's crazy.
No, that's wild.
Well, if you're going to shoot, get shot and dies. Crazy last words. Also looks like this was an interview done after BT and KI were already dead, and it doesn't list OD as Tuka's killer, just says may have. So look, this is still going to be one of the most, like, deeply researched and speculated and debate.
So did WOOSKI kill OD? Or did KI kill OD? Or was it Boss Trail, since they got paperwork on it? Yeah, see, we won't know.